In this video, we're going to break down and fix the most common mistake in all of frontside spinning. If you're finding frontside rotations difficult and challenging, this mistake is going to be the reason why. So in this video, we will give you the tools you need to fix it so you can start doing frontside spins like a pro. The mistake is opening your upper body too early, making it so that you don't have enough range of motion to fully utilize your snap, making you rely on counter rotation and overextension to get the spin around. As you rotate your upper body, you generate rotational momentum, and as long as your upper body continues to rotate, that rotational momentum continues to build. But as you go and hold your upper body and hold it in a standstill position, you're not actually generating any more rotational momentum from this position. So you're instead basically going and taking off the jump from a fully wound up position without having any range of motion to generate your spin. This makes it so you can do two things. One, you can either overextend your throw, trying to throw past the point your body feels naturally comfortable and strong in order to use the limited range of motion you have left in your upper body to generate more rotational force in order to get the spin around. This leads to overextension and disconnection of the core, making it very hard to control the spin and hit a grab. Having your upper body open will also make it so your legs want to follow, leading to pre-spin. As you go and pre-spin off the jump, it's going to make it so your body continues to rotate, and if your body rotates too far past your neutral position, your head won't be able to stay spotting in front of you, and instead it'll be spotting back at the lip of the jump, making it impossible to utilize the constant spot and blind landing. This results in needing to go and fling around your legs and makes you not be able to control the spot and control your rotation. What you want to be doing is staying as closed off as possible, giving you the largest possible range of motion, because the faster you can leave off the takeoff with your upper body continuing the rotation, the more rotational force you're going to generate, allowing you to get more control, bring in your grab, and feel completely at ease in the air.
There's two things that generally cause people to make this mistake. The first has to do with their setup carve. A lot of people will get onto their heels too soon and open the chest. And if you open the chest on the heel too soon, it's going to cause you to rotate off the jump. And if you're going and having your chest already preemptively open and on your heels, it's not going to give you much power to go and generate rotation. That's why we want to go and slow down our edge change and time it for the spoon of a jump. So more time on the toes, flat base, then the heels, and as I switch to my heels, I go and load up my shoulders into my max closed off position. So you're coming in, toe edge, heel edge, then close off. This gives you a lot more active range of motion to use to snap the spin, compared to if you get onto your heels with your chest open, you're only going to have this much range of motion to use, and that's going to make it really hard to go and generate the rotational forces needed to get the 360 around. First, if you're on your edge too early, it's going to make it so your chest opens, and if you want to hold the spot, you gotta counter rotate. The other option is you get on your edge too soon and you're going to try muster through, and that's going to overjuice you. I'll demonstrate again here. If you go and pop too much, you're not going to get any power, you're going pre-spin, and that's going to make it so you have to look over your shoulder, and that's where you see these loose frontside landings coming from. The first thing we're going to do is make sure to delay our carve and make sure we're winding up proper. So delaying, winding up, popping off at tail with a smooth transition. Here again, delay until we're through the spoon, then pop up, and see how I'm keeping my chest pointed out to the jump. I don't want to rotate it more than having my chest come out forward facing. If you go and try to rotate your chest too much, it's going to disconnect you. That's why our key rotation point is basically board side position. Board side, wind up, keep it going. Rotating more than that is going to disconnect you. When you go and over snap your spin, it's going to elongate you, and that's going to make it so it's hard to keep everything tight. How rotations work in snowboarding is you have your stack position, and rotating through that position is how you hold power. So I want it.
We needed one of those. We needed one of those.
I deserve that. That's what I get for making that video, never catch your edge again. Anyway, back to focusing. It's through rotating through this one constant point while keeping the spin in the core that we can get our power. So our maximum range of motion is how much we can snap while maintaining this tension in our core that lets us get power. So if we try to pop up, fully extend, it's going to rotate us around, but it's going to disconnect us, making it impossible to grab. But if we go and pop up, keep everything tight, That's going to give us that micro control and just the ability to really see where we're going and control our snowboard. So the fix for this is delaying your setup carve as long as possible. You want to start transitioning edges through the spoon of a jump. So I'm coming through the spoon, then I'm on my heels, and that lets me pop up and get that clean pop while keeping my spot forward. So the more range of motion you have, the more you'll be able to pop up and control it. So for here, I'm going close off, pop up, and that lets me stay in touch. Maximizing your range of motion so you can maximize your power without overextending yourself, and that's what lets you give these clean, easy front frees where you can keep your spot on the same point the whole way. For a frontside 180, if I go and rotate my upper body like this, I can pop it up and counter rotate through. But if I go and continue a slight bit of momentum, then I can keep everything connected and staying stacked. This is the same thing we see happen on 360s. When people try to rotate a front three, they'll rotate open their upper body early and then try to pop it up, and they gotta sprint it around, losing the spot. But if you go and continue your momentum through, that's what lets you pop up without needing to utilize that counter rotation. Counter rotation is a great tool, but how does it work? Is it first speeds up your rotation. So at 180, it speeds it up, but then it stops it after that 180 point. So you can use counter rotation completely for like a 180, but on something like a 360, when you try to use counter rotation, you're going to max out at that 180 point. And what you need to avoid is going and snapping too soon, stopping, making you need to try fring around, will lose your spot, lose your core engagement, and make the front freeze so much harder. Instead, try to go and continue that energy, snap through, and that's going to let you pop up and get that smooth control, letting you use counter rotation for the last little bit of a spin. Besides just stopping rotation, this is really hard for spotting and controlling your front freeze. When you go and activate counter rotation to pull everything together, you'll need to come up and look over your shoulder, and that's why you see people landing looking straight downhill. If I try to use counter rotation with my upper body, it's going to make me land like that. See how that's disconnecting my body and making me look over my shoulder? Really what you want to be doing is trying to channel this energy all the way through, hitting that position and watching it. So you pick a point in front of you, try match up that pop, and keep your eyes on it the whole way. And that's what gives you the control and fluid rotation that lets you spot the whole way. If you're not feeling ready for a jump, you can do this off of just side rollers, just coming up, winding up, and using that motion. Trying to make it as smooth and relaxing as possible to get this front free around. Really smooth through that transition. Use the whole chest, pop up, get that grab, and not rush it. Keeping everything calm and in control is the best way to do it. We'll end here with a tail press. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll be back at it with another video soon.